What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Big Fight Field channel. This is Joseph Conlett. It is Saturday night, November 13th, 2021, with your AEW Full Gear Review. As you guys can see, I am by myself tonight, riding things solo here on the Big Fight Field channel. Cameron Johnson went to a movie theater to watch the pay-per-view. And Wesley Williams told me during the pay-per-view that he's not really feeling too well. He has a huge headache, and that he probably wouldn't be on the review tonight. I said it's all good. Rest up. Wednesday night, come back. We'll talk about it then. Or you could talk about it then. But I am, of course, going to be here tonight with the AEW Full Gear Review. What a show, man. What a show. Awesome pay-per-view. Awesome pay-per-view. The show was excellent through the first four matches, and then we kind of got to two matches, and then we picked it up with Punk and Eddie Kingston. The co-main, the street fight was okay. The main event was amazing. Hangman Page finally finishing his 2-year quest, capturing the AEW World Championship in what was AEW's best story that they've ever told, in my opinion, in the 2 years of their company, is the storyline with Hangman Page and Kenny Omega, and it culminated tonight with the Cowboy riding off to the sunset as the new AEW World Champion. And we got a lot to talk about, man. We got a lot to talk about here on the Full Gear Review. It was an awesome show tonight, live from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Would I say this was better than All Out? My answer is no. And I'm going to say that because All Out had way more debuts. They had Ruby Soho, Bryan Danielson, and Adam Cole. Those weren't like, a debut. Just, oh, cool, this person's in AEW. No. Those debuts were monumental debuts, game-changing debuts. And, we also had CM Punk's first match in 7 years, and the wrestling on that match with the Lucha Bros and the Young Bucks on the show. I'm not saying that this was I thought the pay-per-view was awesome. I thought Hangman Page and Kenny Omega is a candidate for Match of the Year. I thought the opening match, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, is a candidate for the Match of the Year as well. They absolutely killed it, MJF and Darby Allin, to start the pay-per-view. So, yeah, I got a good show for you guys here tonight. I appreciate y'all watching. Just a couple of promotions before we start here tonight. First off, I want to say this. I tweeted this out last night. It is pinned to my profile page on Twitter, and I'm probably going to say this maybe for a week or so. I'm not sure. But if you follow me on Twitter, you know that my week hasn't been great. And mentally it's been rough. This past Monday, my uncle suffered a stroke and had to go to the hospital. He's recovering now. He's doing fine, but he is on the road to recovery now, and it is going to be a very long process, and from what I know, very expensive as well. So what I have pinned to my profile page on Twitter is a GoFundMe link with his page. If you guys could donate, like if you guys could share the page or even donate a couple bucks, spread the word, I would greatly appreciate that. I would love that so much. And that'll be up on my... It's going to be pinned on my profile for a while, but I'll probably say it like two more times in future videos. So, yeah, if you can please do that, I would greatly appreciate it. And then Thursday night, if you have not already, man, go ahead and check out the reaction video to the Miami Dolphins beating the Baltimore Ravens on Thursday Night Football. I'm still celebrating that win, and the fact that the fact that we're not playing tomorrow, I could just sit back and relax. It's a great feeling, man. It is a really great feeling, and with that, and now with Full Gear, with everything that's happened this week, I'm glad that those things happened this week for escapism. So that is that. Let's start with the show. Let's start with Full Gear. We will probably not be an hour. We're usually on the AEW reviews. We're usually well over an hour with Dynamite, sometimes Rampage. Tonight, probably not. Since I'm by myself, and B, I am freaking exhausted. That's another thing I want to say too. I forgot what I said. Was something I wanted to say. I love the pay-per-views, okay? The pay-per-views are awesome. The match qualities are some of the best matches you're going to get all year. The crowd is some of the best crowds you're going to get all year. The crowd of Minnesota, shout out to y'all. If you're watching this and you're at the show tonight, shout out to you. Minnesota absolutely brought it tonight for Full Gear. The shows are too long, in my opinion. The pay-per-views are way too long. Like, I know it's only 4 times a year, and I'm glad that there's only 4 pay-per-views a year, because WWE does like 12 to 13 pay-per-views a year, and I feel like that's a complete overkill, okay? And with doing that, it doesn't make the pay-per-views feel important. And with only 4 pay-per-views, every single AEW pay-per-view feels equal to a WrestleMania, in my opinion. But the shows are way too long. With the match qualities, each match getting at least 20 minutes, I think. You got to cut down on the matches, man. The show is way too long, and it should not be going to midnight like it did tonight. It should be 7 matches minimum, and the show ends at 11 o'clock. That's what I love. That's what I love for pay-per-views, and that's what I like about WWE pay-per-views sometimes. They might not be great, they might not be a good show at all, but their pay-per-views always get done between a reasonable time between 10:30 and 11 o'clock, and I hope AEW does that as well. But AEW still has much better pay-per-views than WWE does, so I can appreciate that. So I just want to say that for a little bit. But let's get into the show, man. We opened up the pay-per-view with an absolute phenomenal match. Phenomenal match between MJF and Darby Allin. Absolutely insane, man. You had Darby Allin, flashbacks to the match with Cody Rhodes when he went for a coffin drop on the apron and missed. He did that again tonight. That man is insane. His suicide dives, a stunner off the top rope to MJF. MJF gave Darby a tombstone onto the apron. Then the Pinnacle come out, Spears and Wardlow, and Sting chases them from behind with the baseball bat, and he takes Sean Spears' steel chair. And then these guys are doing a series of roll-ups, and the referee's getting distracted by, I think it was Spears, I think. I'm not so sure. I don't remember. I think he was getting distracted by Spears, and MJF hit him with the Dynamite Diamond Ring. A lot of people sometimes on Twitter I hear say, "What's the purpose of the Dynamite Diamond Ring? What's the prestige of it?" There's really no prestige of it, but the purpose is it enhances MJF's character. It's a part of MJF's character to cheat and use that dynamite ring as much as he possibly can. So, yeah, that's really the purpose of the Dynamite Diamond Ring. And I like it. I like the fact that it's a part of MJF's character. And remember on his promo on Dynamite a couple weeks ago where he said he would beat Darby Allin with a headlock takeover. Well, after the Dynamite Diamond ring shot, MJF hit a headlock takeover and pinned Darby Allin. I like the fact that he stuck to his word and actually did it. MJF got the win. I feel like Darby loses absolutely nothing from this because MJF cheated to win with the Dynamite Diamond ring. MJF won tonight. Much needed. I think MJF is going to be in the world title picture very, very soon on AEW television. I don't think the feud with Darby is over. Like I said, I think they are building to a breakup between MJF and Wardlow, and I think that could happen very, very soon. So I'm thinking sometime in December we get a tag team match with Sting and Darby Allin versus MJF and Wardlow. I think Sting and Darby are going to go over in that match, and then that's when the turn is going to happen with MJF and Wardlow. I don't think this partnership is going to last long between them. I still think this feud is going to continue. I think it should continue because you're not going to thrust MJF right into the world title picture with Hangman Page just winning the championship tonight. So you're going to have to wait it out and wait for his time to come. But this match was insane. They showed you how to open up a pay-per-view tonight, man. They showed you how to put on an absolute clinic in the opening match. And in my opinion, this was probably AEW's best opening match to a pay-per-view they've had all year with Revolution, Double or Nothing, and All Out. This match was probably the best opening pay-per-view match AEW had this year. So, kudos to MJF and Darby Allin. Their match was freaking insane. The tag team titles were on the line. FTR against the Lucha Bros. Another pay-per-view, another great entrance from the Lucha Brothers. So, really, I thought the next match is going to be impossible to follow this match up. I don't think this match was better than the opening match, but man, these two teams had an awesome AEW World Tag Team Championship match. They had a banger. They had an absolute banger, and legit, two of the best tag teams in the world going at it. Lucha Bros won clean. A lot of near falls, a lot of this is awesome chants. FTR had the same spot that they won in the Miami when Ray Phoenix was going for a dive. And I think it was Dax Harwood. Oh, no, it was Cash Wheeler. Yeah. It was Cash Wheeler who hit Ray Phoenix with the title belt over the head. Dax Harwood hit him with the Brain Buster, and he kicked out. In Miami, he got pinned at this time. He kicked out of the Brain Buster. He fought back. They went for a Shatter Machine which Penta broke up. And then they did they went for the finish, and Ray Phoenix jumped off of Cash Wheeler and did a Hurricane Rana onto Dax Harwood, who fell to the outside. Then Penta did a package pile driver, and they set up the Lucha Bros finish, and they won. They retained the AEW Tag Team Championships. These two teams are going to have another match at a AAA show on December 4th for the AAA Tag Team titles. I think the Lucha Bros are going to pick up the Tag Team titles at that show. And this was an awesome match. Like I said, it would be impossible for another match to go out and do what MJF and Darby Allin just did. And man, this was really close. This was really freaking close. And the Lucha Bros pick up the win and retain the tag team titles in a awesome tag team match. Bryan Danielson versus Mira. This was the finals of the AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament, and the winner would go on to challenge for the World Championship. I originally picked Bryan Danielson to win this match, and then before the match, I was starting to not get confident about the pick. I had a feeling Miro could win the match, but these guys went out there and they had a hell of a match. I don't think this match was better than the match between Danielson and Eddie Kingston on Rampage a couple weeks ago. I mean, that match was just a thing of beauty. That match was insane. Seriously, that match was insane. The way Danielson's chest was and how hard Eddie Kingston was hitting Danielson. Danielson's chest wasn't red here, but these guys were beating the living shit out of each other. Danielson's kicks, the thump on his chest, even the thump when Miro opened up, he's like, kick me, and he kicked him in the rib. I would not want to be on the receiving end because I feel like I'd be afraid that Danielson's going to freaking break my rib, and I would not want that. But these guys had a freaking hell of a match. I really enjoyed it. This was a match I was really looking forward to on the show. As I've been saying, me, Wesley, Cameron, Danielson has been putting constant classics in AEW so far with the likes of Kenny Omega, Nick Jackson, Dustin Rhodes, Eddie Kingston. His matches have been amazing in AEW, and in 4 months, he's already building a resume to be wrestler of the year. In my books, he's building a resume to get wrestler of the year in AEW in just 4 months. That's how incredible the work for Bryan Danielson is right now. So yeah, they had a phenomenal match. Danielson won. Miro had him in the game over. He didn't lay back like he usually does. So right there, I knew he wasn't winning. And Danielson went for the label lock, which Miro reversed it. He hit the triangle chokehold, and Miro passed. Miro passed out. I honestly don't know what's next for Miro. I don't know. What could it be? I think CJ, his wife, is going to be coming in very soon. I think Miro is going to take, I don't want to say take a break, but I think he'll go back to the vignettes he was doing about his God and his God letting him down. I think he'll do more of those vignettes. And I think this loss to Bryan Danielson will anger him enough to bring CJ Perry to the fold and have her be his manager and just go on an absolute tear. I can't see him winning a championship any soon, but he's going to go on an absolute tear in my opinion. And I do think CJ is coming soon. As far as Bryan Danielson, he's getting a world title match. Am I happy with it? Yeah. I am absolutely happy with it because his work rate in AEW has been outstanding. And we're going to talk about him at the end when we talk about the main event because Hangman Page has his first match set up for the World Championship. And it could be one of the best TV matches of the entire... I don't think it's going to happen on pay-per-view, but it could be one of the best matches on TV. in AEW. So we'll talk about that at the main event. Falls Count Anywhere. Falls Count Anywhere, we had the Super Click, Adam Cole and the Young Bucks versus Christian Cage, Jungle Boy, and Luchasaurus. A lot of people were saying this was the match of the night. I wouldn't say it was the match of the night, but I would say this was a fun Falls Count Anywhere match. This was super fun. They got in it right away. They had everything in this match. Fighting in the crowd. Christian Cage jumping off of railers onto Nick Jackson. Kendo sticks. Trash cans. Steel chairs. Back-to-back table spots. When Adam Cole went through a table with a Hurricane Rana from Jungle Boy. Luchasaurus. Matt Jackson doing a beautiful elbow drop onto Luchasaurus through the table. This match was so much fun. And there was so many points as well that I nearly thought that the match was over. So we had later on in the match, we had what was it? They had a bag, and we all thought it was thumbtacks, but they had knee pads with thumbtacks in them. Adam Cole and the Young Bucks put them on, and they all hit a BTE trigger to Luchasaurus with knee pads, or with thumbtacks on the knee pads. I thought that was it. Jungle Boy freaking dove in there for the save. Then the ending of the match was freaking crazy. You had all the baby faces laid out. Christian came back, speared Adam Cole. So Adam Cole was taken out of the match. Luchasaurus. Oh no, Adam Cole was taken out of the match when he chokeslammed him onto Nick Jackson, Cutler, and Nakazawa, who was standing out on the floor area right next to the stage. Then this freaking guy, man, Luchasaurus is amazing. That's all I will say. Luchasaurus is amazing. This man, excuse me, I'm freaking tired, man. This freaking man did a standing front moonsault. He did a forwards moonsault onto the members of the Elite down beneath the ramp. That shit was insane. Luchasaurus is a grown man. My God, that was crazy. And then the ending of the match, Christian hit a concerto. It was going to hit the concerto to Matt Jackson, but Jungle Boy was like, wait, let me do it. Because Jungle Boy, earlier in the match, he hesitated to do the concerto to Adam Cole when he had the chance. And now during this match, he asked Christian for him to do it. Christian let Jungle Boy have the spotlight. Jungle Boy hit the concerto onto Matt Jackson and got the win. 1, 2, 3. The baby faces go over. I think it's the right move. They haven't got one single win over the Elite. I think they beat them in Arthur Ashe. Adam Cole beat Jungle Boy in a singles match. They've taken these guys out for weeks, and they beat them in a multi-man tag in Philadelphia back in October. So these guys have literally not gotten one single upper hand on the Super Click, and I feel like they could use a win. I'm glad they got the win. at the end of the day, Adam Cole and the Young Bucks, they're the Young Bucks. Adam Cole is Adam Cole. Adam Cole was not going to take the pinfall in this match. It was going to be one of the Bucks. And at the end of the day, they're fine. A loss to them does nothing, in my opinion. So, I'm glad the babyfaces got the win in this match, and I think it was the right move. So, I'm pretty sure this will put this feud to bed. You can kiss this feud goodbye. I'm not sure what Jungle Boy and Christian Cage and all that Luchasaurus do after this, but I think I could see what the Elite's going to do. I think I can see. And I think it's clear after that match. So, we move on to the weak points of the show. Cody Rhodes and Pac against Andrade El Idolo and Malachi Black. This match was added literally 3 days ago on Dynamite. This was the point of the show where the crowd wasn't dead for it, but the crowd wasn't for it. The crowd wasn't as alive for this match as they were the first four opening matches, the first four matches of the night. The crowd was a little bit quiet during this match. This match started off really slow, but at the end it picked up. All right, it picked up. It got good. The match ended up being good, not great or anything. I'm shocked that the faces won. I'm glad Cody did not get the pinfall win. Okay, thank God. That would have been bad, like he did in Orlando when I was there. Pac got the win, hitting the red arrow on Andrade, and I think that ends that feud. And I think FTR came out after the match. We didn't see the Lucha Bros, so I can see an 8-man tag coming up with Penta and Phoenix, with Pac and teaming with Cody against FTR, Andrade and Malachi Black. I can see that match coming very soon. So we will have to see what happens. But at the end of the day, I mean, the match was good. Nothing really special. Cody got booed. In Minnesota. He got a "F-U Cody" chant. If you're asking me, it wasn't as loud as it came off on. I don't know how it was in person. It might have came off super loud in person, but I mean, it was ridiculously loud in Orlando, the hate that Cody was getting. And I was giving him the hate as well, to be honest. So, yeah. He's getting the hate. And, I mean, thank God he didn't get the pinfall, because I think that would have been a disaster. So, Cody and Pac get the win, and I'm pretty sure we're going to get an 8-man tag on Dynamite. I don't think it'll probably be this Wednesday, considering they got most of their card filled up already, but who knows? Maybe it happens Wednesday. Maybe it happens on a Rampage. Maybe it happens in 2 weeks. I don't know, but in the next couple weeks, I can see an 8-man tag coming with Cody, Pac, and the Lucha Bros against FTR, Andrade, and Malachi Black. Then we had Ty Conti against Britt Baker for the AEW Women's Championship. Again, this was another weak point of the show. The match wasn't bad. The match was pretty good, but the crowd really wasn't into it. Like, there were chants here and there, but in my opinion, the crowd wasn't really into this match. The match was super predictable. As much as I love Ty Conti, I'm a huge fan. I think she is a star. She's going to be a future future women's champion in AEW. It was just super predictable that she was not going to win this match, and that Britt Baker was obviously going to retain. and that's what happened. I'm shocked we didn't see Anna Jay. I wonder if that will lead to Ty Conti turning heel in the future. That could possibly happen since Anna Jay wasn't there for her in the match with Britt Baker tonight. Who knows? Britt Baker did win, though, barely. Britt Baker rolled her up for the win, got the win over Ty Conti, and she retains the AEW Women's Champion, and I'm not too shocked about it. I'm not shocked at all about that result. But yeah, Britt Baker retained, and they had a fine match. Then we had the match where things started to pick up again. Things started to really pick up again with CM Punk and Eddie Kingston. This is where the show really started to pick up again. The crowd really got into it with CM Punk and Eddie Kingston. These guys did not have a match. Okay? These guys did not have a match. These guys had a fight. This match was only 11 minutes, but I enjoyed every minute of this match. This was the match I was looking forward to the most. In my opinion, they exceeded expectations. Eddie Kingston walked down there with a bandana on his head. He had his hands taped up. He wasn't smiling. And Tony Schiavone was like, I've never seen that face from Eddie Kingston ever. CM Punk didn't even do the clobbering time. He just walked down the ring. This guy was wearing boxing shorts. CM Punk was wearing boxing shorts. And one of the highlights of this match, when Punk was all bloody, and they were fighting on the outside, the match didn't even start. Okay? The match didn't even start. And Eddie Kingston hits a spinning back fist onto CM Punk, knocks him out. He knocks him out. And the match starts. They're fighting. They're biting each other. They're kicking each other as hard as they can. Suplexes. And then they fight on the outside. Punk gets thrown into the ring post. And oh my God, Punk's going to be bleeding. And wouldn't you know, Punk's face was all red, bloody as hell. And Punk was bleeding from the match. But one of the best things about this match was CM Punk's John Cena comeback. The shoulder tackles, the suplex, when he picks him up on his shoulder and then drops him. Then he does this. He raises his hand like he's about to do the 5-knuckle shuffle. But instead of doing the 5-knuckle shuffle, he gives Eddie Kingston the double finger. Eddie Kingston pokes him in the eye. They continue to fight. And CM Punk gets him in a go-to-sleep position. Hits it once. Hits it again. And CM Punk pins Eddie Kingston. Wins the match. I kind of knew CM Punk was going to win, but I would have loved it if Eddie Kingston won that match. I still love the match. I don't care how short it was. I thought it was awesome. They had a personal story going into the match. And then afterwards, Punk went to shake Eddie Kingston's hand. And Eddie Kingston got out of there. So, I don't think Eddie Kingston's turning heel. But I would love to see this match again in the future for the world title. Whenever Punk's the world champion, I can see Punk being the world champion pretty soon, actually. So, once Punk wins that world championship, I would like to see Punk versus Eddie Kingston again on pay-per-view. This time for the AEW World Championship. That's what we need, man. That's what we need. And then we had Inner Circle Jericho, Guevara, Hager, Santana, and Ortiz versus American Top Team, Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page, Junior Dos Santos, Andre Arlovski, and Dan Lambert. I was actually really looking forward to this match. I thought the build was excellent. Dan Lambert was getting MJF level heat in this feud. But this was easily the worst match of the night, in my opinion. This was easily the worst match of the night. I had no idea what Dan Lambert was wearing. He was wearing a blue tracksuit. It looked super cringe, but that's the whole thing about Dan Lambert, is that he's super cringe, and he's a freaking fat-faced dipshit. So, this match was weird. In the beginning, they were all on the outside, and they were wrestling like it was a regular 5-on-5 tag team match. Like, everybody was making tags, and there were like rope breaks. It was stupid. It was really stupid. I'm like, oh my god, what are we doing having tags in a street fight? Like, what is this? But then they introduced the weapons when Lambert was running around the ring. And then Ethan Page hit Jericho with a hockey stick. Then we had chairs, hockey sticks. Jake Hager brought out a toaster, which got a toast. We got a chant of toaster in a wrestling show. I love wrestling, man. Shit like that. I love wrestling just for the random chants and stuff like that. Like, whoever thought we would hear a chant for toaster on a wrestling show? Not me. Not me. But here we are. People chanting toaster. So we got weapons around. Guevara, best thing about the match, Sammy Guevara's beautiful Spanish swanton bomb onto Scorpio Sky, paying homage of tribute to Jeff Hardy, and then all members of American Top Team get laid out. Dan Lambert doesn't take a single bump in this match. Lambert's all in the ring by himself, acting like he won. Jericho comes in the ring, stares him down. He attacks Lambert, hits him with a kendo stick. Lambert goes to hit him with the walls of Jericho, but then Jericho grabs the kendo stick, hits it over Lambert's head, hits it with him numerous times. Then he points to the sky. He does the Viva la Raza, and he tributes to Eddie Guerrero, as today is his anniversary of his death. And Eddie Guerrero died in Minnesota, where the show was taking place. Hit the frog splash onto Dan Lambert to get the win for the Inner Circle. I thought this was a bad placement on the card, but for most people, this was probably one of the matches they were looking forward to the least. So they put a match on the card like at this spot that people really weren't going to care about that much before the main event. But yeah, it was okay. I thought it was easily the worst match of the night. I would either that or probably that. Yeah, I was gonna say the women's match, but nah. I would probably say the street fight was the worst match of the night. But before we get to the main event, we got some matches for Dynamite. We have Butcher and the Blade teaming up to face Orange Cassidy and Tomohiro Ishii, who's in the U.S. with Okada right now, and he's going to be wrestling on Dynamite Wednesday night as Orange Cassidy's now in Chaos, and they're teaming up. That is freaking cool, man. That is really cool that we're going to get to see Ishii on Dynamite. We saw Suzuki on AEW TV a bunch of times, And now we're going to get Ishii teaming up with Orange Cassidy to face Butcher and the Blade Wednesday night on Dynamite. We got that. We got the second round of the TBS Championship Tournament starting on Wednesday night with Hikaru Shida against Nyla Rose. We also have Dante Martin and Leo Rush against the Acclaimed, Max Caster and Anthony Bowens. And we have TNT champion Sammy Guevara defending that championship against the newly signed Jay Lethal. What am I talking about? Tony Schiavone is standing on the aisleway talking about the show, and he says, "Right now I'd like to bring out a special guest. He's a multiple-time world champion, wrestled for many promotions around the world, and we are happy to have this man in AEW." He then introduces Jay Lethal, and I have to admit, folks, I popped when I saw this. I love Jay Lethal, okay? I remember him from ROH. I didn't watch ROH consistently, but when I did watch ROH, Jay Lethal was one of my favorites. Jay Lethal was a great wrestler, and now that ROH went out of business, and not out, they're taking a hiatus, and they let their wrestlers out of all their contracts. He's the first ROH guy that AEW picked up, and I think that's a pretty big signing. It's not a game-changing type signing, but I do think that is a great signing for AEW. I don't know what role he's going to be in AEW, but I love Jay Lethal. That segment with Ric Flair on Impact Wrestling TNA, legendary. One of the all-time greatest segments that you will ever see. The Woo battle between Jay Lethal and Ric Flair. One of the greatest things you'll ever see in pro wrestling. So he comes out, he cuts a promo, and he confirms that he's all elite, and he says he hears that there's a TNT Championship Open Challenge, and he would like to do it now, but he knows that Sammy Guevara just went to war in that street fight, so he will give him rest until Wednesday night. And then Sammy approaches Jay Lethal and says, "You're on." So we're getting Jay Lethal in his first match Wednesday night versus Sammy Guevara for the TNT Championship. That is going to be awesome. That is something I'm really looking forward to Wednesday night. I'm very excited to see what Jay Lethal can do in AEW. I really am. The main event, 2 years in the making for the AEW World Championship. Hangman Page versus Kenny Omega. Hangman Page got a special entrance before the match. He came out, crowd erupted. He was the most over guy the entire night. And Kenny Omega was the biggest heel. I don't care what anybody says. In my opinion, Kenny Omega came out as the biggest heel on the entire show tonight. This match was a roller coaster of emotions, man. Unfreaking believable this match was tonight. I was legitimately on the edge of my seat like this, hoping that Page won. And luckily or not, he did. He did. This match was amazing. We saw the ref bump. Aubrey Edwards came running down. This gave me flashbacks. God, I can't remember what match it was. But it was on a WrestleMania, and I remember And this ramp tonight wasn't as long as the ramp at WrestleMania, but Charles Robinson just comes sprinting down the aisle as fast as he possibly can, runs down there and counts he does the count and kicks out at 2. That's what Aubrey Edwards did tonight when after Hangman Page hit the Deadeye. He was in the cover for like 5 seconds. You see Aubrey Edwards just running down there, counts it, crowd's going 1, 2, and he kicked out. That was freaking amazing, man. That was beautiful. Then we got a couple V-triggers, elbows, suplexes. Omega hit a suplex off the top rope. I mean, this match was just incredible. This match was incredible. The story was amazing that Hangman Page was not going to give up in this match. Then, the turning point on this match. The turning point of this match. The Young Bucks come out. The Young Bucks come out and they just casually walk out there. They walk around the ring. They stand there. Hangman looks at Nick Jackson. Nick Jackson does nothing. Because last night on Rampage said Hangman Page intimidated the Young Bucks, saying that, I swear to God, if you lay a finger on me at Full Gear, I will ruin your life. That's what he said. He said, I'm sorry that I've been a pain in the ass to you for all this time, but I'm sorry I costed you a shot at the tag team titles a year and a half ago, but then you also cost me a world title match in July, so we're even. But I swear to God, if you lay a finger on me at Full Gear, I will be sure that I ruin your life. That's legitimately what Hangman Page said. So with that in the back of their mind, they didn't do a goddamn thing. They stood there. Nick Jackson stood there. Kenny Omega had his back turned, and he hit the buckshot lariat. Then he went to the other side, and he saw Matt Jackson. He stared at Matt Jackson, and Matt Jackson was like... Matt Jackson gave him the nod. Matt Jackson gave Adam Page the nod of approval to hit the buckshot lariat, and he did it. And finally, Adam Hangman Page is the AEW World Champion. He did it. His 2-year journey was worth it. It came complete. He won the world title. Crowd went insane. Everybody from the Dark Order came into the ring, and they offered him a beer. He took it, and then he hugged Alex Reynolds, and everybody joined in for the hug. And Hangman Page hugged everybody from the Dark Order. They rose him up, holding the World Championship. You freaking love to see it, man. You love to see it. If he had not won tonight, I don't think he would have recovered from that, to be honest with you. But I'm so glad they did it. This was equal to Brian's moment at WrestleMania 30 when he fought the Authority and won the WWE Championship at WrestleMania against Orton and Batista. This was nearly close to that level of underdog babyface chasing what he's been chasing for 2 years and finally capturing it. I'm happy, man. I'm so happy for Hangman Page. The guy deserves it. He's an AEW original. He's a day one guy. And he freaking deserves it. He's the most over wrestler in the world today. He's the most over guy in AEW. And I'm just so happy that he won. He's facing Bryan Danielson as his first challenger for the World Championship. That match is going to be incredible. I cannot wait for that match. And I know Hangman Page is definitely going to give Bryan Danielson his first loss in AEW. And that's going to be a great moment as well. That will really be a great moment. So, they freaking did it. I'm so happy. A culmination of a 2-year story that started literally 2 years ago, that ends tonight in what probably is AEW's best story that they've ever told, in my opinion. Probably the best story AEW has ever told, with Kenny Omega and Hangman Page. Now, what's next for Kenny? Well, here's my theory. I think with the ending of the match tonight, I think Kenny Omega is going to get kicked out of the Elite very soon, with the Young Bucks not coming out there and helping them. They just literally stood there and watched their best friend lose the AEW World Championship as Matt Jackson gave nod of approval to Hangman Page to hit the buckshot lariat. So I think they're kicking Kenny Omega out of the Elite. I think he's out. I think he takes a break for a couple of months. You know, he don't even have to make the next pay-per-view because AEW's roster is so stacked. He can come back and boom, he's a babyface, and you have him feud with Adam Cole and the Young Bucks. There you freaking go. So, yeah. Awesome show tonight, man. Really enjoyed it. Did I think it was better than All Out? No, but I still thought it was an awesome pay-per-view. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have not already, oh man, I'm tired. Be sure to subscribe to the Big Fight Fuel channel. I'm probably not going to do a video tomorrow. I don't know what I would do a video on. Just probably going to relax. I have to leave to go to the airport around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I got a flight back to Orlando tomorrow night. So I'm probably just going to take the day off. Monday, I might do something. I don't know. But really, next week is going to be a light week because I have a big final for one of my classes, I think. So I'm probably not going to be doing much content next week. And with the situation, I don't know. It's probably going to be at least 4 videos max. 4 videos max for next week. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. Comment down below. What did you think of AEW Full Gear tonight? What did you think of the pay-per-view? I gotta know down below, so be sure to leave a comment. Hit the like button if you like what you heard from me in the review tonight. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Cullen_Joseph. Again, if you guys could donate a couple dollars to the GoFundMe that I have pinned on my profile page for my uncle who suffered a stroke this past week. Not only would he appreciate that, but I would greatly appreciate that as well. And with that, I will see you guys next week. Have a good night. Stay safe. Hangman Page is the world champion. Let's go and stay safe.